All right, first up, we have Mr. Alan Mitchell of St. Anthony. Coach Mitchell is going into his third year as the program's head coach. In his first year, he was a CIF semifinalist and state quarterfinalist. This is his 13th year in total coaching and his 5th at St. Anthony.
What would you like me to speak to? Good evening, or good morning, everybody. Excited to be here. This is as Mr. Jackson already mentioned, this is a pivotal day for our program and our league and all these prestigious programs up here. We have a great history in our league. I feel like it might be the toughest in the state of California, just top to bottom, 1 through 6. Just the year before last, we had every program in the playoffs. Every program won a playoff game, or 2 or 3, and got to the thick of it. And last year, we had 2 teams representing in the open division. And I expect the same this year. Our program and our boys, I have Chandler Young with me and Quincy Phillips and Joseph Wicker. Those 3 are going to lead our program. They're going to do it. They have been doing it. I'm excited to be here. We have expectations in our locker room and in our program and on campus that we're upheld in. And just super thankful for it, man, and to be up here with these coaches and to Coach McCrumbie and just helping me out my first year. As soon as I got here, got the job, he reached out and gave me some good words. So I appreciate it, man. I'm excited to be here, and I'm thankful.
All right, filling in for Coach Patrick Roy of St. Paul's, his top assistant, Coach Will Alexander. Coach Alexander is in his 3rd year at St. Paul.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. It's really good to see these student athletes be able to take advantage of a media day here in the Del Rey League. Like Coach Allen was saying, you know, this is big. I think the Del Rey League is definitely one of the top leagues in the state. Very competitive every night. You know, don't miss out. You know, you're going to get entertained by these student athletes on a nightly. Today, our St. Paul athletes that accompany me are Osami Maciel and Tong Mawin. Looking forward to having an improved season. You know, last year, man, we got mopped. We got mopped through this league, but we're going to be competitive. You know, we're looking to redeem ourselves league-wise. I think we finished above 500 overall, and like Coach was saying, you know, we got into the playoffs, got into the quarterfinals, and lost to Etowanda in the quarterfinals. So looking forward to a great season, and glad everyone came out and they put the word out. You know, Del Rey League, we're the top.
Next up, we have Sarah head coach Bernard McCrumbie. Coach McCrumbie is in his 7th year as head coach at Sarah and his 15th year overall at Sarah High School.
First off, I want to just thank St. Pius, Coach Archie, Mr. Jackson for putting this together. This is an amazing opportunity. President DeLarkin back there. We're really excited to be here. Looking forward to definitely improving on last year's season. Brought with us today Caleb Kearse, Maximo Adams, and senior Devin Shell. Great representatives of Sarah basketball and what we're about. Man, this is, as guys have mentioned, top to bottom, Del Rey League, hands down, is the best league in the state. There's no question. It's a dogfight every single night. Great coaches, great players. And it only got tougher with Pius coming in. And so it's smoke every single day here in the Del Rey League. So we're really excited to be a part of this. Thank you again for putting this together, and looking forward to a fun and fantastic season.
Next up, head coach of St. Pius Academy, Coach Dante Archie. Coach Archie is entering his 6th season as head coach at PMA. He has an overall record of 95 and 43, winning 2 CIF championships in 2020 and 2023, 3 league championships, 2 in the Santa Fe League, and 1 in the Camino Real League. In the last league, PMA had 34 consecutive league wins.
Good morning, everyone. I thank everybody for showing up, all the teams, media showing up. This is something great. I played in this league in 2008, was MVP of the Delray League. So just seeing the league, I always kept up with it every year after that, even in college. So this is like a big thing for me. Also now coaching in the league, so I appreciate that. I have with me Douglas Langford, Tyrone Riley, and Tariq Bridges. We're new to the league, so obviously we have to work way harder. Going from Division III to Division I is a lot tougher, so we have to come prepared every day, work hard every day, and just honored to be a lot of big-time coaches here. League is big time, so this is a new light for us, so we have to just come in and just be who we are, play how we play, and those things will take care of itself. So I'm just happy to be here.
Next up, representing St. Bernard's High School is Coach Dante Bowie, who's in his third year. Unfortunately, Coach Bland could not be with us today.
Good afternoon. I am filling in for the great Tony Bland. This is my fourth year here. With me, I actually brought Joshua Palmer, Caleb Versher, and Kendall Sanders. The coaches pretty much said it all. Growing up in the state of California playing, this was always one of the leagues that, everybody wanted to play for and be part of, either playing or coaching or, just like Coach said, this league just got tougher with Pius. Thank you, Pius and Coach Archie, for hosting this media day. Thank you for all the students that, players that took the time out, and all the parents, all the medias that's here. We're a young group. We lost a few players that were big part of us. So we're trying to rebuild and just trying to find out who we are as a group now. We're trying to hope that these guys step up and become the leaders that we know that they can be. I believe we finished second in league, so tied for first with Bishop. So we're trying to just continue what we started over when we came over. So thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach. Next up is Coach Doug Mitchell from Christian Montgomery. Coach Mitchell is in his 31st season as head coach for the boys basketball program. He's regarded as one of the top high school basketball coaches in the state and has over 700 career wins. Coach.
First of all, I'd just like to thank Pius for doing this. This is a new one for me after all these years. It's actually year 34. I hate to say that out loud, but been doing this for a while. It's always exciting. The league's great. The competition is great. The intensity is great. Going on the road is really difficult to win in our league. It's no picnic at home either. So the atmosphere really makes a lot of fun to coach. So looking forward to another great season.
Thank you, Coach. All right, with that said, we'll open it up for a few questions. Does anybody have any questions for our coaches right now? Yes, just state your name and affiliation.
Good morning, Danny Calhoun with the Daily Breeze. Everybody's welcoming St. Pius to the league, but how do you guys handle everything? You say you're excited for everything, but when you look to your left, look to your right, with all the players, it's going to be a challenge every night. How excited are you guys going in?
It's a big excitement. So every year we can move up in leagues, and we have. So when there's an opportunity to move up to this league, that's what we strive for every year, to make progress and be better. So progress is moving up in leagues, and We know this is what we want. We want open division. We want Division I. So that's what we want. So in order to do that, you have to be in leagues like these and play teams like this. So.
Good morning with the Media News. It's for Coach Alexander. Coach, you guys graduated a big piece in Mo White. I mean, he was a large part of that offensive production. Who are some of the guys we can look towards this season that can replace a big chunk of what he had last year?
The two players that are here with us today, Osami and Tong, those guys are going to be major contributors to our success this year. We also have some younger guys coming up from our lower levels that will contribute as well, but we're looking for Osami Maciel and Tong Mawin to carry the load for us. They did well last year. They're experienced. They understand, you know, the battles on a nightly in the Del Rey. So look forward to those two gentlemen really setting the tone for our team and carrying us through.
Rey Basketball Media. Question for Coach Dante. You talk about familiarity within the Del Rey League, playing not long ago at Sarah High School. You know, mentioning kind of Sarah High School, you know, going into coaching. Have you taken anything from like late coach DeJuan Hurt and implemented into your kind of success within PMA?
Yeah, so Coach DeJuan Hurt, that was my uncle. So I've been watching for years when I was a little kid, being in the locker room. So all the intensity, all the running, the hard work, I took a lot of that from him, and our players could attest. We do a lot of that stuff. So I was always around coaches from him, even Pat Roy when he was at Inglewood. I was doing the score clock for him after I graduated college. So I've always been around coaches and learned from coaches. So everything I take from those people, I'll try to learn as much as I can, even now to when I was younger. So.
So Coach Mitchell, having coached for 34 years, we got a rule change for free throws, no more 1-on-1s, and all the coaches I've been talking to are waiting to see what other coaches are going to do with strategies now, with only 5 fouls for a quarter, and then you go into you get 2 free throws and then restarts. And then the fourth quarter, if you're behind, do you foul or what? So what's your strategy coming up for the season?
I got to figure that out. As far as the strategy, it's going to be imperative, and I think most coaches, you try to get your teams to play great defense without fouling. I think that's going to become even more important. You got to keep them off the line because everybody up here knows statistically the best shot in basketball is getting to the foul line. It's better than any other shot in the game. So we've got to figure out ways to keep them off foul line. We may see more zones from schools. It's never been something we've done a lot of, but we may see a little bit more of that this year. But I think it's more training your players. You got to play great defense without fouling.
Hi, Frank Wilson. Is this, I know you've had a lot of teams and rebuilt a lot of teams, but relative to the amount of varsity experience you have in terms of playing time, is this about as young, experience-wise, varsity-wise, as you've had in a while?
In quite a while, yeah. I can't think of one. I mean, just we had 5 senior starters last year, and a couple of the kids were important contributors, and the 3 juniors, they're going to be juniors. I don't really have a senior on the roster. I've got 5 of the 13 are freshmen, so we've got a younger group. So yeah, it's been a long time since I have a team this young.
A couple more before we transition. Quick for Bernard. How does adding Maxie to this group change how you guys look or how you guys play?
Makes a tremendous difference. Being able to have a player that caliber join our program definitely gives us some much needed size. athleticism and skill. He's also a really good leader, and so being able to come in and make his presence felt with his communication, with not just his athletic ability, but also his communication and how he carries himself has been really big for our program, and so we're excited to have him.
Another question for Coach Bernard. You mentioned the transfer of Max, but you haven't mentioned the transfer of the new 6'10" kid from Jordan. I don't know his last name, but I know that was David. Speaking about that, when my brother played at Sarah, I know you guys were, really dominant with the I want to say 6'8", Willie Daniel. How do you plan on implementing him to kind of the scheme in Sarah basketball with David's arrival from Jordan?
Oh yeah, David's going to be a really big piece to what we do. Right now he's catching up to the speed of the game. He's a really smart kid. I was telling Eric earlier today, he speaks 5 languages, and so it doesn't, not worried about him kind of picking up how we play. Just the size and his athleticism is going to be really, really big for what we do. Last year we were the smallest team in our league, and we got beat up every night. And so being able to add the much needed size and toughness is going to be really important to how we play and us having a productive season.
All right, with that said, we'll transition to the next portion today. I'll have all the other coaches take their seat, with the exception of St. Anthony. Student athletes, I have you guys come up with your name cards, please. Sit next to the coach. This portion of the program is 15 minutes per school. St. Anthony's is up now with Sarah High School on deck. Student athletes, can you introduce yourselves, your grade, and position you play?
Good morning. I'm Joseph Wicker, and I am sophomore, and I'm shooting guard.
Hi, my name is Chandler Young. I'm a senior, and I'm a forward.
I'm Quincy Phillips. I'm a guard, and I'm a senior.
Do you have any questions for St. Anthony?
Thank you. Eric Solheimer from the LA Times. Coach, could you just talk a little bit about each player, their strengths, and also if the players can talk a little bit louder in the mic, that would be helpful. Thank you.
Definitely got you. Well, for Quincy Phillips, I'll start with Quincy Phillips. He transferred in from Gardena last year and playing in the city section and in the Marine League, and then jumping into Division I CIF Southern Section basketball, and then this monster of a league in the Del Rey League. It was a big change for him. But around Christmas time in the Damien tournament is when he got acclimated to the level, the physicality and the scouting reports and everything that it brought. And he ended up being a first-team all-league guy. He ended up being a Press Telegram Dream Team guy. And he's accepted now the discomfort that comes with being a leader. So it's not only scoring the ball, and he already wanted to defend the best guy. So now it was about changing pace and being more vocal and holding guys accountable and himself accountable, and he's done that. And then I got this young fella right here, Chandler Young, who he's been in our program since his 10th grade year, and he got through into the fire, man. His first league game, he had to guard Xavier Edmonds, and he was about 6'3", 160 pounds soaking wet. But he accepted the challenge every night to guard bigger guys, to guard guys on the perimeter, and he was our team Defensive Player of the Year. He's doing all that while maintaining a 4.3 GPA. You know what I mean? And that's just an example of who he is as a young man and how his mom and his dad have raised him. And he brings a lot to the table for us. He's a workhorse, gym rat, and he's able to extend the floor and get to the three-point line and mid-range and play with his back to the basket. Then lastly, this young fella here, Joseph Wicker, and most of you guys know, he was a 14-year-old freshman. And he started, I want to say, 18 to 19 games and never let go. Hit a couple game winners for us. And he had games with 6 and 7 three-pointers. And by the time we got to league, his first matchup was St. Paul, and the physicality was a wake-up. It was a wake-up for him. And he adjusted. He adjusted because that's how he was able to stay on the floor with the rest of the games that we had. And the work that he puts in, man, is second to none. Challenged him to be stronger, to get better defensively, and he did it. He came into the offseason in the summer a little heavier, just a little heavier, but it's enough and you can tell. So now he's giving that bump, he's taking that bump, and he's not just a three-point shooter. So what we've been asking him to do is just show your game, man. Be comfortable in showing your game. So now you're a 15-year-old, you're a sophomore, and it's just a generation of holdbacks, but he's ready. He's ready, he's been ready, and I'm looking forward for him having a great year.
Joseph, can you talk about the fact you might be shooting a little more free throws and you get 2 instead of 1 and 1? As a player, how does that rule change affect you as a player?
That rule is going to change a lot, I think. It's going to make us want to get to the free throw line more and attack the basket a lot often.
So, and for you, Coach, at the end of the game, if you're behind by 10 and you have to commit a foul and they're going to get 2 automatic free throws, that's going to be a lot tougher to come back, right?
Yeah, definitely. It'll be a lot tougher. I'm not going to share our schemes or nothing. They're going to have to work for that one, just as I'm sure they wouldn't share. But like Coach Doug Mitchell said, man, it's about defending without fouling, right? And the easiest way to do that is to contest shots and rebound. And then from there, you go from there and try to chop the lead down and walk them down. But I think with 5 fouls and each quarter getting to the bonus, it's something that everybody's going to have to adjust to, not just us. And our league is extremely physical, man. Like every night is extremely physical, so it's going to be a huge adjustment. And I think the thing that'll probably benefit us is the depth that we have. Like I have these 3 guys here, but we have 6 seniors, we have 7 juniors, and then Joe being the lone underclassman. But just being prepared and defending without fouling. And when you do get your free throws, we have to make them.
But if you notice that the players more thankful they get to practice free throws, understanding that they might be shooting more free throws?
Yeah, it's definitely something that it's going to be you'll see some games this year with probably both teams shooting 20 free throws, 25 free throws, and it's just what it is. I think it'll probably break the rhythm of the game as well. So it's going to test the composure and just the adjustments from the staffs and respective players.
Out of curiosity, I know Coach Mitchell did, but how many of you guys, before you went to St. Anthony, had a familiarity with kind of the legacy and the history of the program in terms of, you know, the Derek Martins of the world, or the Ricky Prices, Kenny Mulkeys, all these guys who went on to, you know, low-key were very, very good players in high school and went on to be, you know, college players or whatnot? I think you play on the courts, Derek Martin court, so that's one big hint, I guess, huh?
Personally, I never knew much about the history of St. Anthony, but I knew over the time that I've been here, I've learned a lot about the history and just like getting to know like some of the past players and the greatness behind the program. It's a great thing, and I think it's really special to know about that and be a part of a program like this.
I think we had a great history. I didn't really know much of the history going into St. Anthony's, but as I became more in St. Anthony's, I know a lot about it. We have good history.
I want to add one thing to that. The last basketball championship we won on the boys' side was in 2000, and Jared Lloyd was on that team, Jared Rock Lloyd, and we have his son, Jared Deuce Lloyd Jr. So he's been able to share some things with not only myself and our staff, but our program, and what that took just in that journey in itself, right? And even on the girls' side with Coach Anderson and the success he had at Narbonne, and then carrying that history over to our girls' program and sending girls to Arizona and Duke and things like that. We're doing the same thing. You got Elijah Price at the University of Drake. You have Jaden Bush at Dominican, and he was a player of the year in the program, and these guys were all CIF and things like that. Open division in 2020, I was on that staff as well. So the history is there. It's a prestigious program, and it's a prestigious league, and we belong.
Chandler, how do you get to a 4.3 GPA?
Honestly, it's just hard work and just being disciplined every day, and honestly just prioritizing and managing your time properly. Yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say about that.
Coach, do you give him an A in basketball?
Depending on the day. No, but he definitely works, man. The one thing, last year Chandler experienced some heart issues, and it was pretty scary for us, and I'm sure for him. So just in his young age, balancing that out, you know what I mean, not knowing if you're okay, if you're gonna be able to play, and whatever it may be. But to see him push through that mentally, man, and he's a extremely mature young man, extremely mature, God-fearing, and his work ethic is it's incredible. So even in the mistakes that he was making as a youngster, the effort was on 100%. So now you got the effort there on and off the court, you know what I mean? You see him taking some naps sometimes, you see him watching film, you see him studying and doing homework. Like, you always see him doing something. He's never wasting time. And hopefully that continues to spread through our locker room.
We have about 5 minutes remaining for St. Anthony's. Any final questions?
Coach, you guys took your lumps early on last season, starting out 2-5. What are some of the things that you learned from last year to avoid that type of start this year?
Execution. We were extremely young, dude. We had 9, 10 guys. It was their first time on the varsity level. Out of those 10, 7 of them were supposed to be on JV. And starting out 2-5, we went on a 5-game losing streak, and we lost all 5 of those games by a combined 12 points. And it was just a lack of execution. A lot of these guys had never seen a scouting report. A lot of these guys had never seen film being broken down. So with the experience, there's no excuse. There's no excuse now. We went through the ringer, and we overachieved being 500 last year. The last week of league, if we win a game, we probably in second place, depending on how things shake up. So the way we avoid that now is just executing, man, being physical, being smart, being composed, being unselfish.
Question for Quincy. Coming from Gardena, what was the adjustment like for you personally?
There was a big adjustment, just the students, how big the campus was, the culture of the campus. There was a lot. St. Anthony's more of a brotherhood. We look out for each other, and Gardena, it was like everybody for themselves.
What about, and then on the court, like you said?
On the court, it's a big difference. The exposure, the competition. In the city section, we didn't really like play anybody that good. We got like a lot of good players in here, and way better competition in the city section, I would say.
Thank you, St. Anthony.
No doubt. Thank you.
Next up, Coach from Crown Vinyl Sarah High School. St. Paul will be followed by Sarah. St. Paul will be followed by Sarah.
All right, once again, good afternoon, good morning. I have here a senior, Devin Shell, sophomore, Maximo Adams, and sophomore, Caleb Kearse.
Okay. Question for Maxie. What was it like playing with your brother last year, and are you sort of looking to forge your own path this year?
Yes, playing with my brother last year gave me a lot of experience, and growing from his game, it gave me a lot of growth, and he gave me a lot of points and stuff to learn about. And yes, of course, I'm trying to forge my own path, not trying to be in the shadow of my brother. And I say I can just grow from him and take a lot of experience out of his game.
And what has it been like playing summer ball, and fall ball with Sarah? How do you think how you fit into this group here?
I think it's great. It's a brotherhood. I think we're able to grow more, and the opportunity of being coached by Coach Bernard, a great coach. I say we're looking great and being forward, being at Sarah.
And Bernard, can you walk us through each three, what they accomplished last year, especially, was it Caleb and Devin?
Devin, yeah. So I'll start with Devin. Devin transferred in as a sophomore, COVID year, and Devin is here today because he's what I call a culture spreader. He came in, bought into the culture of the program, in the classroom, on the floor, 4.5 grade point average, has been a remarkable leader, has shown how important sacrifice is, which is one of the pillars of our program, and we're looking forward to having him on the floor this year healthy and helping us win a lot of games. Devin was injured for a better portion of last year, and so one of his goals this year is to finish the whole season healthy, and he's ready to rock and roll. We're really excited about his senior year and what he's going to bring to the table. I'll talk about Maxie last. We have sophomore Caleb Kearse. We're really, really excited about him and what he's going to continue to bring to the league this year. First team All-League as a freshman in the Del Rey League is something that's not easy and doesn't happen very often. He's grown a couple of inches, and he's as tough as they come. Looking forward to watching his continued development as a point guard, helping to lead our guys on the floor, commanding his voice, and getting buckets. That's what he does. And Maximo, we're really excited to have him join our family. He's been a fantastic addition, very coachable, very hard worker, and as I mentioned before, is a leader, and we're really looking forward to the success that he has. As you mentioned, being able to forge his own path. He's a local kid, born and raised in the South Bay, and so it's a great opportunity for him to be able to set a standard for the type of basketball player that he is.
And question for Caleb. What did you learn last year as a freshman, going through the league for the first time, and how does that help you come into this season?
As a freshman, it was it wasn't really that scary. I mean, I've been playing at a high level for a long time, so just coming in, just knowing that I got to work hard and establish my mark early so people don't try to run over me.
Caleb, can you just talk a little bit about your growth? You've gotten from 5'7" to 5'9". It's basketball supposedly is about size, but you were doing fine. So explain for people what it's like to be small, but to outshine some of the big people.
I mean, I come from a short family, so with that being said, man, you just gotta work hard. People always gonna doubt you because you small, but you just gotta work harder than everybody else. Try to prove them wrong as much as you can.
Coach, what surprised you about Caleb?
Man, the kid's tough as nails. It's one of the toughest kids I've ever coached. If I can keep him off the ground, driving in there with all those trees, man, yeah, I think he'll probably be able to finish the season healthy, huh? Last year he missed a lot of games too just because of injury, and so our big goal for Caleb is to keep him on the floor, keep him upright, and continuing to be a pest on the floor, and also growing in his voice, continuing to be a leader. One thing I want to say about all three of these kids are they're incredible students. My principal paid me the biggest compliment the other day by stating that they can see the culture of our program on campus through the kids that I coach.
What's the GPA?
So Devin has a 4.5. Moving into the end of the first quarter, Maximo finished with a 3.8, and Caleb is at a 3.4. And so we have great kids, but when I tell our kids all the time, they're the standard, not the status quo on campus. And so when they can represent myself, their families, and our program on campus that way, then that's huge for our program. And I'm excited about what we're going to bring to the floor this year.
What's it like trying to teach kids to take charging fouls? Coaches love to see that, but the players are not so enthusiastic a little bit. So how do you get a player to take a charge?
So one of the pillars of our program is sacrifice is an action rooted in love. And so to be able to sacrifice your body for your brother, to make a game-winning play is something that we sell and these kids are buying into. And also I reward them for that sacrifice. And so that makes it a little bit more excited to do it. And so we practice it every day. One of our favorite drills that they get fired up to do every day in practice is our charge drill. And it gets us going, and to me, it's one of the most important plays you can make on a basketball court. So I value that.
What are you awarding them?
Oh, they get rewarded with socks. Sometimes, I give them $5 for their charges. So hey, I gotta incentivize what we value, and so they get excited to take them.
Maxie, obviously at the end of the summer, you had a whole lot of high school options. It seemed like everybody and their mother was trying to get you on their campus. What about Coach Bernard, Coach McCrombie, and Sarah made you and your family realize that this was the best place for you?
I say just Coach Bernard. He's a very humble, very great coach, has a lot of experience, and I feel like I fit in well with the school, with the team. All my teammates, they love me. I love them too, and we just continue to grow from there.
Did you sense, and just getting to know him before you actually enrolled there, that Coach Bernard was a little bit different than a lot of the coaches and people who were just trying to get you because of what you could bring to them basketball-wise?
Yeah, I think Coach Bernard can teach me to be more than a basketball player and be better as a person. I knew some of my teammates. Caleb, I grew up playing with on Mentally Fit. when we were younger in AAU, and just like that.
So you were real comfortable. It wasn't like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm gonna have to learn to like this. You felt comfortable right away.
Yeah, correct.
Coach, just taking a quick peek at your schedule, you guys are playing some really tough teams, Linwood, San Ramon Valley, among others, you know, the Duane Classic and the Classic at Damien. You guys are playing some really, really tough teams. Talk about how that preseason is really going to help get you guys ready for the Del Rey League.
So every year we play a very difficult schedule. We run through a gauntlet to get us prepared for a tough league. You know, that's one of the reasons why we've been able to be competitive over the last few years. Last year was an anomaly, but every year we come in and because we're prepared through playing a tough league preseason schedule, we're ready for the Del Rey League. You know, we play a lot of games on the road, very few at home, and that's by design to get us mentally prepared for the gauntlet. And once we make it out of the league into playoffs, you know, actually things get a little bit easier, so to speak. Our guys are mentally prepared and ready to compete at a high level. And we do have a tough schedule this year too, so yeah.
I forgot to ask you, do you have any football players this year?
We do. We are expecting Andre, sophomore, Andre Nickerson, and sophomore Kari Wilder to play this year. And potentially Zach. Zach Williams may come out and play with us this year. He said he wanted to play, so we'll see. Yeah, so yeah, definitely. Andre 6'5", and Wilder is 6'6". Both of them are really strong, physical kids, and so we definitely need that continued interior presence, along with our other big kids, Bono, Kamani, and Henry Toller. This year's team, we have some new pieces. We graduated last year, 6 guys, and we lost 3 to transfer. And so, you know, adding kids like Maximo and David and Elijah Baba and Jeremiah Wilson have been tremendous to, you know, the depth that we need. And if we can stay healthy, I think we give ourselves a good chance to have a successful season.
All right, a couple minutes left. Any more questions for Sarah? All right, thank you, Coach. Thank you, guys. All right, next up is actually going to be, my apologies, it's actually going to be St. Pius and Matthias Academy, then followed by St. Paul.
Thanks. First, Coach, can you introduce who we have here and their strengths, what they accomplished last year and what you expect this season?
So to my right is Douglas Langford Jr. He's a junior. He's for the last 2 years he's been more like inside rebounding. I think he averaged 16 and like 14 rebounds last year. He's expanded his game now, more ball handling, shooting. So it's still work in progress, but he's expanding his game. Right here is Tyrone Riley, all around, all world. To me, the best player in the state. Just I could be biased, but that's just my opinion. He averages around 24, 25, like 11 rebounds, like 4 or 5 assists. So he does everything for us. He was CIF Player of the Year, Wooden Award Player of the Year for Division III last year. So he does everything for us. And to the left is Tariq Bridges. He's a junior. Tyrone's a senior. Tariq's a junior. He's like our three-point shooter. We're trying to get him more off the dribble, getting to the basket, shooting his pull-up, and getting him better on defense. So we want him to be a 3-and-D guy who can go off the dribble. So if you could do that, you could play college basketball anywhere. So that's what we're working on with him.
Question for any player. How excited are you guys to be going into the Del Rey League?
We're very excited as a group. Everybody up here we've been really excited to get moved up to the Del Rey League, come in and play at the highest level to get a chance to go open. That's one of the goals we have as a team, make it to open playoffs. All the other leagues they weren't as challenging, so we're hoping to get a tough challenge this year in the league with all the good teams in here and compete.
Are you sort of sizing everybody up as they walk from the stage, or are you looking around and saying, I got to guard him, I got to guard him, but,
It's like, of course you see the players that they have. But every team in here has talent to come and compete any given night. Any given night a team could be hot, we could be cold. So looking at a team overall, we don't underestimate anybody, because anybody could come out and win a game and play their best as we don't play our best. So every game is play our best to win, compete, and do what we do.
And Dante, did you change your schedule and knowing you were coming into this league? How did you load up on tournaments, or how did your schedule look this season?
Our schedule is probably the toughest we've had. We play Harvard Westlake, Sierra Canyon, Roosevelt. We're in the Damien tournament, and we're in the TARC tournament. So our schedule is very tough. But if you want to be the best, you got to play the best. So when we get to league, it won't be like a shock to what the talent that we see. So.
Tyrone, obviously, a lot of the summer and even into the fall, I think it was a quad injury or something. Your leg was banged up for a long time. Are you as close to healthy as you're going to be now, and are you kind of catching up for the lost time in terms of getting back to as sharp as you were before the injury?
Yeah, for most of the summer I was out for a fibula injury, so it took me a few months to get back. Once I've gotten back, we've been working my way up to getting back to where I am to be the player I can be. I feel like my coach here has done a great job supporting me and helping me get better. My teammates around me has been supporting me and helping me get better with my leg also. I feel like I'm basically at 100% now, feeling good, moving great on the court, feeling athletic again, and my confidence is just back with no fear in my leg.
And then for Coach Dante or any of the players, talk a little bit about the adjustment David Mack has made to, obviously he's had a ton of success and very good player, but in terms of how he's adjusting to what's probably going to be a little bit of a different role that he's had in the past in terms of acclimating himself with you guys and trying to fit in as seamlessly as possible.
The adjustment starts off in the locker room. We get back to the drawing board, stepping it up a notch, working harder, practicing harder, figuring out the little mistakes and, correcting those mistakes because we're playing in a tougher league, more competition and just, prepare us.
Well, to David's, he's like real tough on the court. I think probably the best defensive point guard to me. I always have small guards, so with what Caleb was saying earlier with small guards, like I don't know why people go away from it, but I'm a small guard type guy, so all my guards have been small. So David's been great with his on-the-court leadership in terms of just playing defense, and it rubs off on everybody else. So it's things that he has to get acclimated more with. Obviously, his role is different, but he's, it'll help him in the long run as a point guard.
He's pretty fearless too.
Yeah, no, for sure. He's a different type of guy, but it's great to have him here. He's acclimated well with the team, with the school, students, everything.
Coach, you have so many players back from last year's team. That's usually a good thing, but sometimes, the expectations can go really high and the coach can get frustrated when they're not improving and stuff. How do you deal with that experience, trying to get more out of them when they sometimes take it easy, thinking they all know everything?
So majority of our group has been here since their freshman year. All three of these guys have been here since their freshman year. And I've been telling people this is probably, and it's not a bad thing, it's probably been the toughest year with coaching them because obviously they get older, they're not the same freshmen anymore. So sometimes they listen to you, sometimes they don't, and they do their own thing. But it's been great because obviously everybody grows. So they've grown as students, as players, as people, and what I've done is just everything we did last year, we have to be better. So if we're running on the track, our times have to be better. Whatever we do, it has to be better. We're moving up, so we can't stay the same. So that's been an adjustment for me and for them, because they obviously the ones that's running and doing the stuff. I'm just sitting there watching them run. So that's the thing that we've been doing to try to get better.
So how far is the run that they have to do, the time?
I could give you one of them. So we have to run 10 laps, but it's one at a time, and they have to finish in like a minute 5 and minute 10, and they have to do 3 increments of it. So it's like 24 total that they have to eventually.
So how do the players like that run that you have to be better than last year?
I mean, at first, you don't like it. We all complain. We shouldn't complain, but we all complained about it. But I mean, eventually you just get used to it. You gotta do what you gotta do to get better, more conditioned, more in shape. Eventually, you get numb to it. That's how I get it.
Tyrone, have you gotten better at the run?
Yeah, I can say I've gotten better at the run. When you're running, when I'm running, it gets tough. When it gets tough, people like to tend to try to find the first way out and to find something to say, oh, I can't continue to run. But I like to tell myself, if I'm already here, even if it's at 6 a.m., no matter what time it is, if I'm already here, I might as well get better, make the times, and get it out the way as fast as possible. So that's my mentality towards it.
So Sarah's giving out free socks for charging fouls. What are you giving out?
We haven't gave out anything because they don't like taking charges. But there has been things that, like, oh, if you do this, you take the charge, you'll get it, and it still hasn't happened. That's probably the toughest thing with players nowadays is taking charges. I told them it doesn't hurt. It might hurt for 2 seconds, but that's what I used to love, taking charges. So, yeah.
And it's for Tyrone. The past few years, it seems like a climb up to Division I and the Del Rey League. You started off in the Santa Fe, moving up to the Camino Real. Has this been a goal of yours to bring your team all the way up? I mean, I'm not saying you guys were down low, but to be a Division I at the peak by the time your senior year is rolled around, has this been a goal of yours?
Yeah, it's a big-time accomplishment for me. My freshman year, when I came in, we were in Division III, and I put my goals list for high school, and one of them was to be able to compete in Division I. So each year I've been trying to get better to be the leader of the team to help us get to Division I where you are today. So I feel like that's a big accomplishment for me and for the team. It's coming here in the lower division and working our way up and getting the respect that we've all thought we deserved.
For Coach Archie, what are some of the things you're going to take away? I mean, you're close to 40 wins in 2 years. I mean, what are some of the ways you're going to keep continuing to get more out of your guys? And like Eric was saying, you guys have a roster that's a lot of continuity from last year. You know, what are some of the ways you're going to max out the efforts from your guys?
That's been like one of the, like I said earlier, one of the toughest things with this year's team, because I've been used to them for 2 years, but obviously they grow, get older, things happen in life, so it's been an adjustment. So it's just a lot of talks with the coaches and just different people trying to find new ways to get them motivated, to keep them going, because we can't keep doing the same stuff because they'll get tired and bored of it. So we just been doing different things and adding it to them to make them push and go harder, because we have big goals this year. No, we have Davon Gates. He's a senior, and his little brother is Davion. He's a sophomore. Sorry. So those are the other two transfers that I remember. Yeah, that's it.
St. Paul will be followed by St. Bernard's, and then we'll wrap with Bishop Montgomery. Coach Will Alexander is filling in for Coach Patrick Roy today.
Hey Coach, just another quick question. Any newcomers to the team this year?
No newcomers at this time. We're just pretty much bringing up our lower level players that will be filling in the spots for a few that we lost to graduation, well, one to graduation, and then we had a few transfer out. So majority of our lower levels will fill those spots.
Can you talk about the two players?
To my right is Osami Maciel. He's our returning point guard. Osami's just a gamer. You know, he's a gamer. He's a high energy player, high IQ player. We're working to continue to build him as a strong collegiate prospect. You know, I think he has all the tools to get it done. We're in a fine-tuning stage with Osami. Just being able to, make those critical decisions. And then with the entire team, along with Osami, is, staying disciplined toward the latter parts of the game where we're closing out stronger than what we did last season. There are a lot of games that were very close in the end, and we just, as a team, we didn't stay disciplined enough to close those games out. To my left is Tong Maciel, high energy forward, looking to move him out to the 3 spot a little bit this year because he has a really good touch, but really strong player underneath, rebounds the ball well. He's a double-double for us the majority of the games. Last year, along with Tom, we're looking to improve, basketball IQ, preparing for the next level, where both of them, along with the rest of the team, are highly recruited. So that's really where we're working towards, and just to improve the team overall. There are two leaders. They share the most experience out of in playing time that we have from last year's team. So that's what we're looking to do with both of these guys.
Sami, I take it you're one of the players who likes taking charge and foul, and they don't have to give you socks.
Yeah. No, but I mean, taking charge is part of the game. So I mean, the reward is, you know, giving the other team a foul. So I mean, that's for me. That's the reward. Other than that, just yeah.
Why do players now don't like taking charge? Are they afraid of getting hurt?
I think it's because, yeah, that's probably one, or the sacrifice that you have to put your body through. I mean, most players probably don't want to do that, but it's a big toll on your body, even if you know, going on offense and defense. So you have to have a lot going on with your body and stuff. So make sure you stay healthy when you want to take charges.
Osami, obviously your dad was a big post guy. How did you? Are you still waiting for that growth spurt, or in the meantime, just going to be the best point guard you can be?
Hopefully, I could get that growth spurt. I mean, it'd be God-giving. Oh man, that'd be wonderful. But I mean, I could work with what I have. I mean, I'm a small point guard, but you know, I do what I can. I always work hard. You're always going to have doubters, like Caleb said. As a small guard, you got to, you know, work your way through the bigger guards and all that. So,
How tall are you?
me, I'm 5'10".
Were there either playing when you actually started playing, or just watching on TV? Were there particular point guards that you kind of tried to emulate or pick stuff up from either watching them or in person or on TV?
I really, growing up, I really watched Steve Nash. I really picked up my game on Steve Nash. I really like his capability because he's also a small guard. He's very good with the pick and roll, and, you know, he's very mobile. He's very mobile, going between bigger guards and, you know, playing fundamental. So I tend to look towards him.
Did your dad ever say, I wish I had you pass it to me when I played? Or?
Oh, probably, most likely, yes.
Question for both of the players. How excited are you first to be here for a media day, and then how excited are you for the upcoming season?
You know, just really excited. You know, just coming into a new year. You know, new expectations, new goals. You know, just coming in every day, just working hard. Really excited for it.
I'm excited. As you know, we got a new competitor. I mean, sorry. St. Pius. I mean, it's going to be very competitive. Last year it was already competitive, but adding St. Pius is going to be even more of a dogfight every night. I mean, I'm very excited. I'm working every day. So yeah.
And Will, you said you had to bring it up your lower levels. What's the grade makeup of the new guys you expect to fill those spots?
Mainly juniors and sophomores for our makeup. You know, these two are juniors. You know, they did really good at, you know, as sophomores last year at contributing. I think one thing that Coach Roy instills, and we instill as a staff, is just elevating our level of confidence when we're out on the floor. So we're able to get really good minutes. And from the summer and the fall, our younger guys or our less experienced players are giving us that push. And then it really helps to have Tong and Osami, who've already experienced it, leading us. So it helps our players build that confidence as well. So we're looking to get really good minutes out of those younger players that are moving up, or less experienced players that are moving up.
Gabriel, where did your father play
basketball? My father played at Southgate. He graduated in '93. Played under, I forgot his first name, but Coach Aoki. He went. My uncle or my dad? Oh, my dad's 6'4". I wish I had his height, but unfortunately I can't. Yes, sir.
Will, when you think when everybody's talking about the respect everybody has among themselves for the Del Rey League, but I would think that as much as what St. Bernard and Bishop Montgomery did in getting in the open division, the fact that you guys were fourth or whatever in the league and ended up getting to what you beat Village Christian and Los Allen, get to the semis, that speaks volumes to the caliber of not only team you have, but the level of competition you were playing against.
Yes. We early on, and thank you. Early on, we played some really tough competition to prepare us for league. You know, I look at the season as, you know, three different seasons. You know, you had your preseason league, prior league, then you get into league, and then you're getting prepared for the playoffs. And I think we were really well-oiled machine by the time we got into playoffs. And just a credit to Coach Roy in his preparation for playoffs. I've been his assistant since Inglewood days. Roy's been doing it for 30 years. I'm maybe 25, 26 years there as his assistant, the only person I've worked for in high school basketball. But Coach Roy's preparation is really incredible, and just the way these student athletes absorb it, you know, I think really helps, you know, to have high IQ guys in leadership roles like Osami, like a Tong, to let these younger guys know, like, you know, this is what's expected of us, and let's make sure we come out and give 110%. And I just think last year we were just really prepared for the playoff aspect of it in Division I, and you know, just let that Etijuana game slip away from us.
What's it been like for both of the players to step into the leadership role?
It's been big, but ever since you know, I've been playing, I've been accepting that role. So I think it came easy with me trying to become a leader. It's a big role to take on because now you have a bigger expectation looking forward towards you, and plus you got to back it up as well. You can't just, you know, lead and not back it up. Also, being a leader is, you know, being competitive. You got to be competitive. You got to bring that energy, and that's what I do as a point guard. I bring that energy. I motivate my teammates. You know, that also is a big key in leadership. So, and that will also help the team, you know, progress and not move backwards and take a backward step. Other than that, just leadership is a big role.
Yeah, moving forward into the role, I feel like it was easy to be adjusted to, you know, just coming in every night, competing, having high energy with the team, like, you know, being motivated within them. I feel like it was pretty easy to get to be adjusted to it.
Good afternoon. To my left, I have junior Caleb Verscher, first team All League for last year. Right here, I have Joshua Palmer, also a junior, considered one of the best shooters in the state. Then I have to my right Kendall Sanders, our lone senior. Kendall was also first team all league last year. Kendall is one of our most versatile players. He can play 1 through 5. And yeah, the floor is yours.
Is the only senior on the roster, Kendall? Is he the only senior on the roster?
The only senior from the senior from last year, yeah. We have another senior on there, or the only junior from last year. We have another senior, but we're not sure if we're really going to put him on the roster or not yet. So we're kind of, you know, trying to figure that out.
Just your thoughts on the group. I know you graduated a pretty, like a handful of guys that were key last year.
Yes.
So how is this group sort of picking up the role from last year?
Yeah, well, we lost some key pieces with Tyler Rollison, Ray King, James McCullum. So these guys are definitely trying to pick up a lot of points, leadership, and just like a lot of dog that came with that team. So they've been doing a great job. Kendall has been the leading guy when it comes to that. So we just hope that he, continues to do so.
So you probably look for him to be the leader. Is that something you've had to do before in that leadership role, or how are things sort of adjusting for you in that spot?
It was a big change. I kind of just flowed into it. I knew I had to take that leadership role once those older guys left, and so I just worked on it. Leading the young fellows, these are my guys. I work with them every day, talk to them all the time. So it wasn't nothing new for me. I was able to do it. So.
And then you called Josh the best shooter in the state, so there's a lot of pressure on you. But just how does that feel to have a coach say that about you, and how much work you put in this offseason to prepare for this season?
Over the off season, I was with my dad mostly like every night just shooting, and with my coaches believing in me to be the best shooter, it means a lot to me. That gives me confidence to take those shots.
And then for Caleb, what do you expect out of him this season?
We expect a lot. This is Caleb's third year on VAR. So his freshman year, he had a heck of a season. Sophomore year, kind of had his ups and downs. He was trying to figure out his new role as a sophomore. With his junior year, we expect him to just explode out the scene. He actually had a great summer this year with Compton Magic. So, Caleb is really, really strong. His IQ is growing. And his jump shot is getting more fluent at every level.
And then Caleb, what do you think about your off season, and how prepared are you for this upcoming season?
I feel like I had a great off season. For me, it was just figuring out what I need to work on, and attacking them every day in the gym. So, and I'm all about winning. So whatever it takes for us to win, that's what I'm about. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sacrifice. If I'm not scoring, I'm gonna go get 10 rebounds. I'm gonna defend. I'm gonna go guard the best player. So it's just about winning for me, and I think that mentality can take us a long way this year.
Okay, Josh, I keep looking for somebody who likes taking charging fouls. You're the son of a coach. Do you like taking charging fouls?
I do search for them. I do hunt them. And if the time comes, I will step in front and take them. So yeah, I will.
So you do like taking charging fouls. Does your dad get on you for not taking a charge?
He would. He said, I can hear him talking, in the game. He tells me step over, take a charge. It's a big part, yeah. So he would get on me.
Coach, what's the incentive at St. Bernard? Do they get anything for taking a charging foul?
No. They don't get anything. We just try to, teach them to play hard every single play, regardless if it's a charge or if it's sacrificing to dive on the ball or just anything that's going to get the work done. We implement it.
Kendall, through I think even early in the spring and then all the way to the summer, I mean, you were never ever 100% or even close to 100% with your knee. How is the knee now, and are you getting back to the point physically where you want to be going into your senior year?
I'm getting there. It's gotten much better. Going to physical therapy every now and then, just working on it, strengthening it.
But it was tough playing during the summer, trying to get back into it because it really bothered me and it really messed me up. But I'm really getting there, probably like 95%.
Was it frustrating? Because obviously it was a big time for you to get exposure.
Yeah, it was very frustrating, especially think some games we had coaches coming to see me. I couldn't play, so I was real upset about that. But I mean, I just fought through it, and glad to be where I am now.
Thank goodness for Baller TV and watch all those videos.
Yeah.
So, Kendall, you're the last player at that school to ever play football.
Yes.
So, do you miss it, and what does the future look like?
Football, I mean, when I went out there, I didn't realize it was really what it was. Like, it wasn't for me after, like, because I had to leave practice early, get to basketball late. It was just too much. But I'm going to just stick with basketball from now on.
What do you think is the football future at St. Bernard? I understand they're going to try to start the team up again. Is there anybody interested in playing football?
Our school is really small, so we won't – I doubt anything's going to really happen, maybe like 10 guys. So our football career might be over for right now. So, yeah.
Joshua and Caleb, obviously you guys kind of grew up together. I mean, how does that relationship carry over into the quarters when you're on the court? Is it just like any other teammate? I know besides being relatives, you're also Compton Magic guys. Does that carry over into the court, or when you're on the court, you're just like any other teammate or competitor?
Yeah, we have our chemistry because we used to play with each other a lot growing up together. So, yeah, I say it does build other than like a regular teammate. He's like my brother. So I trust him. He trusts me. So, yeah.
Josh is a guy that I feel like I can say whatever I want to say to him, and he won't take it any type of way because I've been talking to him like that my whole life. We've been playing each other since I can remember. We had a court at our grandmother's house that actually the other day just fell down. Like, it's been there for like 15 years. So yeah, that just goes to show how long we've been playing with each other and like our continuity and stuff. So, and it's an advantage honestly at the same time for us on the court too. So yeah.
The other thing, in seeing you guys over the course of years, you three may have the most low-key fathers in the history of high school basketball in an era where, either former players or a lot of fathers are very demonstrative and social media presence. If you guys didn't know who your fathers were at the time and you watched in the stands, you would never guess. Is that kind of like you appreciate that, not putting pressure on you or having people, point to them in the stands and whatever they want to say they say to you, away from the court and when you guys are together?
Yeah, I do appreciate that because pressure, it can be avoided. So when I don't have pressure on me, I play better. But pressure doesn't really mean much. So yeah.
For me, my dad is probably the only person that could actually get under my skin, like make me try to break me. I'm pretty good about shaking people off, but he's the one that can get under me right there. But he does it for the right reasons. He just wants the best for me. He played college ball, Arizona State, played pro with the Globetrotters, and yeah, he just wants the best for me. He knows basketball, and I listen to him. I shake him off sometimes, but I listen to him as much as I can.
As a coach, Will, is that, I know Coach Bland talks about it all the time, that, all of them were coaches, but none of them call them up or pressure them or say, hey, why aren't you doing this? They kind of just let you guys be the coaches and they're the dads.
Yeah, and that's one of the great things. As a coach, you get a lot of parents that, of course, want to do your job or think that they can do your job better than you can. Which, I mean, as a parent, you always want the best for your kids. But these guys, their parents have been amazing. They trust the process that is going over there, and they kind of just sit back and let us coach their kid, because they know that we want the best for them, not only on the court but off the court as well. I don't think these guys really understand how good their dads were. We try to, tell them, but,
What kind of offseason did Taj have, and what are you expecting out of him this season? I'm sure you expect him to carry on what he did last year, but
Yeah,
what kind of growth did you see this offseason?
Yeah, Taj has been putting in a tremendous amount of work. Of course, Taj grew from 6'4" to about 6'8", so that's a huge step there. He's put on about 10 pounds of muscle. He's jumping out the gym. He's shooting the ball really well. His leadership is actually growing really, really well. It's just the little things with Taj. But that's it, really. Taj is looking to having an explosive season.
And then your schedule, you guys usually play a tough schedule. Is it pretty much the same as previous years?
We pretty much always try to schedule one of the toughest, in like the state. So I actually haven't talked to Tony much about who we're playing yet, but I do know that he's putting together a nice, strong schedule. We just want to be ready for a league. We know how tough the league is. Of course, coach in the back, Bishop, they're always tough. Saint, Anthony, they're always tough. Pius, they just moved up, and Sarah, they always have a good team. So this league is known to have some powerhouses. So before we go into league, we try to get all of the toughest schools that we can.
This is for the younger guys. Talk about what that experience was like having that playing in the open division. As younger guys, you had that. It's kind of a shock playing teams that are really, really that good. Talk about what it was like going through a trial like that, and what you guys are gonna learn from. What you guys learned from it.
It was really new for us, playing those good teams. We played earlier, but I say what we learned from it is that you have to execute the whole game, because those 1 or 2 possessions could cost you the whole game. And yeah, we got to learn execution and playing hard the whole game.
For me, it was a challenge. Obviously, we're playing open division. You're playing the best in the the whole region or whatever, California. It was, for me, I learned, like, I pick up on stuff, and I'm able to use it to my advantage and apply it for the next time that I need it. So I learned a lot, just the physicality and how possessions are important, and especially at the open division level. So when we hopefully get back there this year, I'll be ready for everything. I took notes on all of it already, so I think I'm good.
And our final coach of this morning, Coach Doug Mitchell from Bishop Montgomery.
Good morning again. Would apologize for having no players here. It's on Coach. For whatever reason, I had a really bad week, not as a coach, as an AD last week. A bunch of stuff went wrong, and we had to take care of some stuff. So in my mind, it was like this was on Tuesday. So I thought, I'll come in on Monday, and I'll organize the guys and organize everything. And I saw the text. Actually, my wife and I got away this week, and I always take her away a weekend before the season starts because she didn't get to see me as much during the season. So saw the text and panicked, but I got down here, so you get me. So the three I would have brought would have been Christian Hall, Dennis Woods, and Cameron Brewer. They're three guys that played minutes for us as sophomores. I had 5 senior starters, but they were the three that contributed. I think they're going to be the key to any success we have this year. We have some other talented young guys, but I think they're going to have to provide the leadership and the maturity because they played. They all played in open league games. They all got high level of competition last year. Christian will be the point guard. Mr. Sondheimer keeps talking about charges. He led us in charges last year as a sophomore, and he didn't get eligible till midseason. So we averaged more than 1 charge a game. He took a charge in a fall league game with 30 seconds to go in the game. We're up by 26, and he took a charge. He just does it. You know, it's part of who he is. So heard you talk about that. Dennis, talented. He was just at a position where a lot of wing guys that were good, so he got not as much playing time as he probably really should have, but made a big jump this summer. And Cam, who I haven't seen since the summer, had a great summer for us, but he's a wide receiver on our football team. And I think he's leading the state in touchdown receptions this year. I think he caught 5 last game we lost, but he had 17 going in that game. He's got 22 touchdown catches this year. So those 3 guys would have been the 3 guys that would have brought.
Can you mention your freshmen, some of the names?
Yeah, two freshmen are going to get critical minutes for us. Taryn and Taron, Terran and Taron. Williams. One is Tarron and one is Terron. So the guys call them 1 and 2. RRAN and RR. They're both spelled exactly the same way. Just the second letters are different. E and A.
And what's their height?
6'4".
Yeah,
can't call them T. So everybody calls them 1 and 2. Everybody at school already calls them 1 and 2. Their hairstyle's a little different. Helps me, right? They're identical. And then I guess the other young man that's important is going to be a sophomore, a 6'8", 6'9" kid who was on varsity last year. Didn't play a lot, obviously. I had some size up front, but unfortunately he broke his foot in a fall league game. He hadn't really played in 5 or 6 weeks, so getting him back, we're hoping he gets cleared this week, but it's going to take him a while to get obvious stamina and conditioning back.
You've had a history of twins.
Yeah, I've had some good twins, some good brothers. There's been some good track record there.
Crazy, so.
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts so far on these 2?
They're very good. They've got a chance. They're very different than the Craven twins. I would compare them more. I think I told Damian this. I'd compare them more. They weren't twins, but the Thompson brothers. They remind more of them. Long, lanky, versatile, can play inside and out, can play all over the court. Kind of remind more of them.
So just talk about taking charges. You've been coaching for 34 years. Has it gone down that they don't want to? They're afraid of getting hurt?
I don't notice that big a change. If somebody misses an obvious charge in practice, we stop practice and everybody on his team has to take a charge. So we do a drill where they all take turns taking charge. So we try to encourage them. I don't give them socks or anything, but we try to encourage them to do that. It's an important play. You know, it gives you possession, puts pressure on the other team, and especially because sometimes we haven't had great size, so we had to take charges. I think when you've got some length and some athleticism, it's maybe not quite as important. Frank?
Doug, I'm sure you always see yourself as much as a teacher and as a coach in terms of teaching the game, but over the last, I think, 3 years, you had pretty much the same core, 5, 6 players. Do you find yourself now more as a teacher of the fundamental, trying to establish a fundamental base in terms of, in a lot of cases, just fine-tuning guys and preparing for games?
Yeah, you hope you're always teaching your guys their whole careers. But, yeah, when you have a younger group, and I think that the thing I have to be careful of this year is not going too fast with them, not, in a sense, putting the cart before the horse, make sure they have the fundamentals down. So we probably, at this point, you would usually have all our sets in, and so we don't. because I've got to teach them the basics of the game, making sure we have trust in each other, trust in me, trust in their teammates, so that we're trying to develop that.
And then one thing that kind of away from the actual team or court, but obviously over the course of when Rob and Reiner were calling the shots, especially Reiner basketball-wise, now that Coach DeFavis has kind of taken over the basketball role, are there any things that you would like to see, maybe what can be done within the realm of, you know, the way the CIF process works to maybe secure the traditional high school programs a little more with all the things that seem to be threatening it, or the challenges that are rising, or just things you'd like to see on and off the court that would make it a better game for players and coaches and everybody alike?
Yeah, I got to be careful the way I say that. I think sometimes people, they overrate the power that CIF has to really impact that kind of stuff long run a little. Yeah. And personally, what I've done after all these years is I try just to worry about what I can control. That keeps me sane. It keeps me enjoying coaching. So what can I control? I can control how hard I work, how well I work with my kids, how hard they work, how much we develop as a team. So those are the things I control. At one time, I was probably more passionate about let's do this, let's do that. And now at this point in my career, I'm like, I want to enjoy coaching, so I focus on what I can control. Hope that answered your question.
Philosophy for life in general.
Yeah. Took me a while to figure it out.
But when you have a team that's young, that sort of rekindles that fire even more?
Well, at this particular team, I'm really enjoying. They're really open and receptive to coaching. They really want to be coached. And I think that's kind of the personality of the team. And I have really good leadership, even though I don't have a senior. The three juniors are really good leaders, so which helps set a good tone. And I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying coaching this group.
Yeah, I think I saw you in whenever the Ron Massey was, and then I saw you again a couple of weeks ago, so it was like 6 weeks difference or something. And from my perspective, it seemed like, wow, they made progress. Have you seen as much progress as you can make in a fall situation where you say, okay, they're starting to get it?
Oh, yeah. And I think the difficult thing for me, this team, I haven't seen my whole team yet. I haven't had Cam out. He's been in football. And years past, sometimes the football players would come out and play some fall league games. He was too important. I would have felt terrible if he came out and rolled his ankle. He was kind of their offense. So, and then I haven't had my big guy, which is going to change the look a little bit, obviously, of our team. So for me, I haven't really seen my team. I didn't even see them this summer. We never had those 6 guys I just talked about in a game at one time. We haven't had it. And everybody deals with that, injuries and this and that. So, but I haven't seen them, so I don't know. I think I told Damien I'm really confident this is going to be a good team. I just don't know when. It could be late this year. It might not be till next year. I mean, I got to hold the whole crew back. I think they're going to be really good, but I don't know when.
Coach, what's your take on the schedule this year with the younger teams?
Pardon?
What's your take on the schedule and the way you want to the schedule?
Well, we play 4 tournaments preseason. My thing is, if I win a tournament, I feel like it's kind of rude not to go back. We won all 4 of the tournaments we played on last year, so we went back the same. And they're good tournaments, so I think it's a little different areas. It gives us variety. We see some different people, so I like that schedule. We've traditionally gone out of town right before Christmas to Mission Prep in San Luis. I love that tournament. It's been good to us. We see some teams out of state and some teams in Northern California in different areas. So and then with a 6-team league now, you only really have, if you play 4 tournaments, you only have really 2 non-league games. So I'm doing shootouts for both of that.
Having coached so long, you get to see now the sons of former players who used to coach again. So let's talk about Ariza. I don't know if you played against Trevor, and now you get to play against his son. Any comparisons?
I didn't enjoy playing against either one of them, so they were both really tough. I mean, Trevor was at Westchester. I think he was younger, but about the time I had the twins, so we ran into them a few times. And, I mean, you can just see the upside for the young man. He's just he's got all the talent in the world, and his dad, not just a good player, but a great role model. The sky's the limit for him.
Thank you. Thank you.
We good?
All right, thank you, Coach. All right, with that, we will conclude. If we could just get one photo, can we get all the student athletes up to the front? If we could get all the student athletes to the front, we'll take one concluding photo. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out to Media Day at PMA today. Chaz, if you could help get them organized, please. Get a little tighter, guys.